The top 5 games of Geekway 2025 on this episode of Play Saves the World, the ongoing conversation about the meaning of play for human flourishing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Play Saves the World. My name is Daniel Hilty.
And my name is Kevin Taylor.
And we are so grateful and glad that you have decided to join us today on this episode. It's an honor and a privilege and a joy. Thanks for making time to spend some moments with us. And Kevin, it is an honor and a privilege and joy to see you. How are you doing?
I'm privileged and honored, Daniel. Truly.
That's awesome. You have that sense to you. That's great. That's great.
Yes. Well, it's partly you, and it's partly
no.
that we have a heat dome, which, there's that. Isn't it funny? The labeling heat dome sounds terrifying.
It does sound terrifying.
Yes. So it was somewhere in the middle part of the United States, and now it's in the eastern part of the United States, the heat dome. It's kind of like swine flu. You know, swine flu sounds terrible. Bird flu sounds like, it can't be that bad. They're little birds. And then swine flu sounds terrible. So heat dome,
that's right. Yeah. That's right. So part of your mystique, your glow, is the result of the heat dome.
It's dehydration. Right. That's correct.
It's dehydration.
It's severe dehydration.
That'll do it as well. I'm sorry.
See little angels and bunnies hopping everywhere. The angels are hopping and the bunnies are flying. So
you know something
we've had
is
it wrong.
Amiss when that's yeah. We might be under the same heat dome here too. I'm not sure. It's unusually hot for this time of the year in our part of the world too.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like -5 Celsius, I think.
That's right.
Which is really hot.
That's right. It gets really hot.
It's the Celsius Kelvin scale.
Yeah. At -5 Celsius, which is, I believe,
Celsius.
110 Kelvin.
I don't know how to say it.
No, which is, yeah. I don't know how to say it either. You can't get negative on Kelvin, right? Because Kelvin 0 is absolute zero. It's like when all motion
I think he still
stops.
had some bad days, though, Lord Kelvin.
So Kelvin still did get negative from time to
Kelvin's
time.
Emotional scales.
That's great. All of his friends are like, the great thing about Kelvin, he's never negative. And then his family's like, oh no, you just haven't seen him. Just bring up Celsius. Celsius got all of the glory.
Well, it reminds me, remember the Karate Kid? There's like the one day where Mr. Miyagi, like it's his wife's, the day of her death or something, and he gets really drunk and he's so weirded out. Because Mr. Miyagi is, so it's like one day.
One day you're allowed to be upset or grieve.
Right. That's right.
Dis Celsius.
Can no longer catch a fly with a chopstick. That's the one day he can't.
I assume that there's more to be said about Celsius and Kelvin, but we're here for a different purpose today.
We're here to speak of Greek ray.
Greek ray. Greek ray?
No, I got it. Sorry, I wrote it down wrong. Geekway. We're here to talk about Geekway.
Geekway, but Greek gray would also be interesting.
Sounds like an Ent's name, Treebeard.
The older I get, I'm getting more Greek gray. Yeah, I love it. We're talking about Geekway. Kevin,
Geekway.
What is Geekway for our dear listeners who may be unfamiliar with it?
Geekway to the West is a board game convention, which means people gather to play board games for several days, like many conventions. And there's all sorts of conventions for all sorts of things, but board game conventions are happening all the time. So if you've never been to one, look in your area, check it up, do some searching, ask at the board game store, and find out if you're interested and go. Because that's where you can make friends. They'll have a board game library. You can try some interesting games. I guess the main thing is just having time and availability to game. I mean, is that the whole point?
Right. Yeah. You kind of have to plan for it.
Paying for
carve
a
out some
hotel.
time. Yep.
You're carved out time. You're not at home. You can't vacuum. You can't load the dishwasher. So you just game for 4 days or so. So Geekway is based in the gateway to the West, which is St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri.
Was the gateway to the Western Trail and the Gold Rush and all that stuff. So yes, that is an annual convention it's in May, right?
It's in May. Yeah, it was May. I had to look it up too. It was May 16 through 18 this year, 2025.
And there were Stegmeyer
Yes, it's the local convention for Jamie Stegmaier, the owner, producer, publisher of Stonemaier Games, and yeah, and so that's always kind
Which
of a neat.
and the hits of Stonemaier Games include.
Wingspan, Scythe, Tapestry,
Yeah.
Expeditions,
Yep. And then yep, and some
Castles
Wingspan
of
offshoot
no Between Two Cities.
between two cities, and some
Yeah,
offshoots, some side projects from Wingspan, Wormspan, and Finspan.
yep, yep, yep. They make a lot of good games.
They do. They
And
do.
we were grateful to have Jamie on our podcast in its earlier incarnation, Board Game Faith, a year or two
That's
ago.
right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So people get together, we play games, and Kevin, it's always it's a highlight of the year for me as we get to see you in person,
Yes.
and that's amazing. You
Yes.
come out, and it's just wonderful.
Yes.
And so we thought for this episode that we would list the top 5 games for us personally that we played at Geekway, and I'm doing it like new to me games, right? Like I guess I
Okay.
played a few
Yep.
games that I
Me
played
too.
before, but yeah.
All of mine are new to me. Some
great,
are new this year. Most of them are new this year, but a few were oldie goldies
Okay.
for me.
And that's one of the joys of a convention is discovering old games that have been out for a while, but you get to try them for the first time. Yep.
Or maybe games that friends own that they don't know how to play, so they bring it to you
Right.
for a
Right.
teach.
That's
I'm
that.
thinking a particular game.
In theory,
In
that might
theory,
happen.
that could happen. You don't know.
Yeah. It's a
It's not your
hypothetical.
convention. It's my convention.
Yeah,
It could happen.
that's right.
You don't know.
I know. No, it's good. It's good. I know you must be alluding to the that deck of Uno I brought that I've been trying
That's
to figure
right.
out
That's
for the
right.
last. And you were
That's
like,
right.
Daniel,
God, I've been
here's
playing
how
that
you
game
play
wrong
Uno.
the whole life. Yeah.
My
Finally read
problem
the
was
rules.
I shouted Uno when I had 3 cards left, and I thought that's how you're supposed to do it, but it was.
But your
it was
Spanish
wrong.
teacher in 7th grade was just really bad.
That's right. That's right.
Really bad Spanish.
I don't know if you did this. I didn't mention it to you ahead of time that I did, but I counted how many games I played at Geekway
Hmm.
over those 4 days. I played 22 games, distinct games, and I played some multiple plays of each of those. And so I imagine you played.
So it's 22 games with multiple playthroughs of some
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
I imagine that you probably had a similar number. You get to play a lot of games
Mine
during
was
those 4 days.
lower because I actually don't have the stamina you guys do. I sat out a few times. I had to, my fragile brain.
I admired that though. I think that was a good strategy.
Well, it's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. I
Type
played
thing.
some games with my brain shot, and in retrospect, I shouldn't have. I should have sat out.
I saw one game you were involved in, and you looked like you really wanted to melt. You were just like, I gotta get out of here. You were just, the brain fog and exhaustion had kicked in. But it's hard because we are a noble legion of gamers, and you have to finish the game, right?
You don't want to let the game pantheon down. Yeah.
No.
No. They might smite thee.
Yeah.
So we have some honorable mentions. I have some honorable mentions.
We
You have some
do.
honorable mentions. Before we get to the top 5, may I share my I've got 3 honorable mentions. Is that okay?
I want to hear them.
Okay.
Number 1, your first HM.
Okay. This is in no particular order my 3 honorable mentions of games I played at Geekway that didn't quite make the top 5, but I really enjoyed them a lot. The first one is Come Sail Away! Exclamation point.
Okay.
It is a game, I think the publisher is Hayashi. And I played it mainly because I really like this publisher. It's a Japanese board game company, Hayashi, and I've liked a lot of their other games, and so I want to try this one. And it was really fun. It was you play the role of kind of a bellhop. I don't know what the word is on a cruise ship, but like you're welcoming
Porter.
guests and porter, yeah,
Maybe.
aqua porter, and you're as the aqua porter, if you will, you're welcoming guests and you're taking them to their room and sometimes delivering their luggage, and you have to get the right, certain guests go to certain rooms, certain other guests go to other certain rooms, and you also kind of have to trace this path through the rooms of the ship, and it's modular, so you're always, no one game is ever the same. It was a lot of fun. I really liked
want
it.
to play this game. Sounds,
Come Sail Away.
You had me at Porter's organizing. It sounds really fun. Actually.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I bet you'd like it.
I saw some folks playing it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it was good. My second honorable mention is Finspan, which is in the Wingspan universe, as you were saying. Jamie Stegmaier, the
I
Stonemaier.
saw him lose at the game at the convention. It was very strange.
Heard that.
It's like,
we
wow,
have
how can you publish this game and Anyway, that's not true. I just made that up, but it would be
We
fun.
have friends of the podcast, Sam and Becky, who actually are kind of do some help out with Stonemeyer games and come to their play. Anyway, so it was one of them, Sam, helped me learn, Kristen and me learn Finspan. And it was a lot of fun. I have to say, of the Wingspan family of games, Wingspan, Wormspan, and Finspan, I think Finspan is my favorite. I really liked it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's
I've not
Wingspan but with
played it.
fish.
Wingspan's fine. I really liked Wormspan. I've not tried Finspan, but Wormspan added enough interesting things that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wormspan
I've not
was a lot of
played
fun too.
Wingspan in a long time, so I have to admit I may be totally wrong.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
The
Finspan,
Wormspan
I
is
like
cool.
it.
Mostly, I mean,
Just
it's not just because of dragons, but it's mostly because of the dragons. But it's also, yeah, you get to go in a cave and stuff.
that is neat. That is neat.
Caves
Yeah, I
are
agree.
awesome.
I agree. Yeah, caves and dragons. You can't go wrong with that
Yeah.
combo. Yeah. And then my third honorable mention is Nekojima. I think the subtitle, which is a dexterity game where you are.
Boy, is it ever.
It is. I think thematically, you're building electricity poles on Nekojima, this island of cats in Japan, and then hanging cats from some of the electrical wires. In practice, what you're doing is stacking thin wooden poles with strings connecting them and hanging these cardboard cats from the strings, and you're trying to see how high you can get them as a table before everything collapses, a la Jenga. It was a lot of fun, and it's been a big hit here.
Did I play that with you? I played it with someone.
That's a good question. I don't know. I will look that up.
I did play
While you-
Nekojima.
Okay.
Well, on my honorable mention is
Yes.
Scribbles Furiously. Nekojima. Yes.
Really?
I mean, yes. I think it's refreshing it was just kind of cool. And at some point it's all gonna break. And it's kind of fun to see when that happens. But I like that. It's just different. It was different. Yeah, you're trying to hang, you can place these little power poles with a sort of thick string, and they're going to hang down, and then you've got to not touch anything that's already on the board, and then carefully place the cat somewhere. So yeah, that was pretty neat, pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Did I play with you or no?
I'm having trouble. I'm having some technical difficulties. I want to keep trying. I'll let you know when I find out. I'm sorry.
There's a board game app I decided not to use it. It just felt like, I don't know, I wanted to be nonconformist. I didn't like, it felt like homework or something, but everyone else uses it. So I think I'm just wrong. But yeah, everybody likes to log their plays and where they've played and with whom and stuff. And so that's what Daniel is consulting now. Board game stats game.
I'm going to try a different way.
Anyway, honorable mentions there. Nekojima, also Fado, which I had never even heard of, but a beautiful game by the great famous designer whose name escapes me now on Mars. Something and
Vital Lacerda?
Yeah, Vidal Lacerda. Vidal Lacerda, that's it. But the art's beautiful. It's one of his simpler games, but it's cool, and it's worker placement, so you're putting people to do things. But I'd never seen a game that's worker placement without a refresh stage, because basically you're always bumping people out, so it's kind of always refreshing the board, so you don't have to do a bit wherever you take everyone down.
So you can go someplace where somewhere else is.
Galactic Cruise may have that as well, a version of that where
Interesting.
like by warrant of displacing someone, you refresh your workers. I think it may have that as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And Fado is a Portuguese style of music. Looked it up. It is, I mean, I already knew all about it because I know everything. But just to confirm that Wikipedia was right, I looked it up. And it means fate, Fado, F-A-D-O. And so it's music that tends to be about, sad things like I was fated to have her break my heart. So it has a singer and usually guitar music. And it's from the 1800s. So in this game, you were building a cafe and you were trying to recruit Fado musicians and then make them famous to get victory points. And I did terribly, but it was still awesome. Yeah. You have to really be a Euro gamer, but it was cool. I really enjoyed it, Fado.
Nice.
And my other one is a game that I'd always heard about, and we managed to get out from the library. It's an older game, and it is called Ready, Set, Bet. It is famous because it is a much-loved game of Tom Bassel of the Dice Tower, and it was fun. We did it wrong, so I still want to try it. It played correctly.
How did we do it wrong?
There is a line. It's like 2/3 of the way down the board. And when one horse gets there, the game ends versus having them all get to the finish
Right.
line. So
That's a
we
better
just missed
ending.
that bit and thought you had to race them all. But if you recall, when we played, it seemed like it took forever, and that's
Yeah.
why. So clearly,
Cool.
that's why that rule is there. So you don't have to get them to the bitter end. But yeah, you have a caller, and people place bets on certain horses, and it's just dice and randomness, and it was really fun. Yeah, there's a lot of energy behind
You really
watching.
seem to love it. I thought that might even make your top 5. Yeah, that's a you were a
It
good
was
call there.
close. It was close. Yeah. And I think maybe if I play it some more, I do need to get a copy of that. I do. Yeah. Ready, set, bet. John St. Clair or John DeClaire. John DeClaire. Yeah.
Yeah, John. Yeah, I looked it up. Yes, you did play
That was
Nekojima. It was one of the games we played at the Geekway house with Jordan and Chelsea and Kristen.
No. I played it at the convention center. You may
Okay,
have played it
okay.
again, but I remember being at the tables. And I thought Kristen was there. I thought I remembered you being there.
Okay, all right. One way or the other, it got played. Good.
Yeah. Or I'm
Okay,
wrong.
okay. I'm sure you're right.
I'm always right unless I'm wrong in general. Okay.
I don't-
Well, number 5. Give
Number
me
5.
your top 5 board gaming experience from Geekway to the West 2025 in St. Louis, Missouri.
My number 5 for me personally,
For the universe. Daniel's
That's
top 5
of-
for the universe.
beloved favorite game played at Geekway 2025. It's a very light game.
Everyone agrees.
It was actually nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, the Game of the Year award. It's Captain Flip.
And we played that together.
Yeah, Captain Flip. Captain Flip is it's a really simple game. It's so simple. You have in the starting board, you have a pirate ship, and you're just trying to build up your crew by building up columns of tiles. And the genius of the game, the trick of the game is you take a tile out, and the tile has 2 different kinds of crew members, one on one side, one on the other, and they will score. Each crew member scores differently, but you have to look at the side of the tile that you pulled out, and if you choose to use it, then you use it. If you choose not to use it, you turn it over, and you have to use the other side no matter what. So that might give you not as good a deal, and sometimes it might even have a bad thing that happens, and you wipe out. So it's kind of this nice push your luck element. I love
Yeah.
push your luck games.
Do you? Fun.
So yeah. And one thing I've liked about it is I've played it a lot with my family and our church group here, and it's kind of fits that really light game category box that makes it just accessible to a lot of people, and a lot
Yeah,
of folks have really enjoyed it here. So yeah,
It's a cute
Captain
little
Flip.
theme. Yeah, and the rules are very simple. And what I think the genius of it too is all the characters combo really interestingly. So if you
Yeah.
get so many swabbing boys that are going to swab the
Swabby.
planks or whatever,
That's
swabbies,
right.
then there are so many monkeys, and so you're hunting for certain things, but they combo in fun ways. And so watching how that plays out, and it's kind of a luck game. I mean, there's some strategy, some thought, but there's a bit of luck, which I
Yeah,
think is
yeah.
great because it means the little 7-year-old at the table can win, and that's kind of always fun if they genuinely just get, have a good game going on. So yeah, it's fun to try to figure out if you find that other monkey to score 20 points or something. Yeah.
It's a good game.
What's in the box, right? Will you flip it
Yeah.
over? What's in the box?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
What's your number 5? Do we want
Number 5. Yeah.
to guess how many crossovers we have? I didn't think about that.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm guessing 2.
I would guess 2 as well.
Okay. All right.
I guess
All right, I'm sorry.
I'm going to say 1. To
I
make it
interrupted
more
you.
interesting. One crossover.
I could say 3.
Between
If you'd
1
like
and
to-
3. How
if
about
you'd like to
between
stay
1 and
with
5
2.
crossover? Or 0
Okay.
to 5?
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay.
We'll
yeah,
see.
that
We'll
sounds
see.
good. All right.
I interrupted you. I'm
My
sorry.
number
What's your number
5,
5?
I played Storm Raiders, which is a Shem Phillips game, and it was kind of, I mean, it's always great to play a Shem Phillips game, and I wanted to play it, and I almost backed it and decided not to because I was like, I got too many games. So it's just by luck that I think I had passed on a game you all were playing, and then some people we kind of vaguely knew through some other people were there that we just met,
Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
starting this game. I was like, can I get in? And it was just awesome.
So
It
great.
was really fun to try.
What's the theme of Storm Raiders?
The theme of Storm Raiders is kind of a Mad Max type thing where you're captain of these 3 things. You've got like a motorcycle, a helicopter, and a vehicle of some sort of truck or type thing. And it's pick up and deliver. So you have to it's Euro type thing where there's some dice roll, but based on that, it decides your movement, and you can try to get certain things and get them somewhere else. But there's a storm that can come, and you can sort of decide which route the storm goes through depending on the turn order, and you take damage on your stuff because of it being Mad Max, so you get damage to things, and your damage fills up your cargo hold of what you can collect. So then you have to find ways to remove the damage so you can collect the goods. But you can decide which vehicle to go where. And yeah, it was really neat. It looked great. It had a cool design. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
It wasn't super long. It was a little bit of a challenge. It wasn't a super long game either. It was kind of a lighter Euro Jim Phillips game. So yeah.
Jim Phillips is another one that
good
just
time.
really just consistently makes really good games. And another former guest of the podcast. Yeah.
A guest of the podcast and friend of the podcast. And also you can tell a Jim Phillips game because he always gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Like the games, there's just enough in it to be nice, but you get a lot of game for $50 or $60 in US dollars, right? So, and I can tell that's because he thinks about that.
That's great.
So it's not going to be real cheap, like a bunch of little cardboard. There's going to be some stuff in it that's nice, but it's not going to be a $250 production either. It's going to be in a really nice price point. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Storm Raiders.
Well, my number 4 was a game I had heard about. I was not expecting to play. And I was surprised by how much I enjoyed this game. It is a game unlike any other game I've ever played.
Does it have 2 words?
It is. And they both start with...
Do both of them start with W's?
They both start with W's. Wilmot's Warehouse.
Yes. It is unlike any game, correct?
It is unlike any other board game you will play. It's based... it was inspired by a video game. I guess there's a Wilmot's Warehouse video game, which I've tried, and I didn't connect with me. And it's thematically similar, but different in a lot of ways too. But it is a cooperative game where you're placing, thematically what you're doing is you're working in a warehouse with a team of others. It's a cooperative game, and you're placing these items in the warehouse to be purchased later on. But what these items are, they're square tiles that are kind of these abstract images, and you place
Very
the
open
abstract
to interpretation.
That's right. And you place them on a grid in this warehouse, and you place them face down. So once you place them down in the warehouse, you don't see the image anymore. But before you place them down, the whole table generally helps you come up with a story to remember that tile and where you're placing it. And the first tile, there's not much of a story. But then where the real story comes is... you're making up a story about where you place these tiles in relationship to the other tiles. And so this thing kind of looks like a corn on the cob. And this thing kind of looks like Santa Claus. And so you say, oh, well, do you remember, you put it next to it, hey, how Santa Claus ate that corn on the cob. And then, and this something looks like a raindrop. And there's really storming outside when Santa Claus ate that corn cob. And you go around the table doing that. And then you just have this ridiculous, silly story, multiple stories at the end of it. And then the players, the buyers come in, which is basically people who are other square tiles that you're trying to match to the tiles you put face down. And you try to see if you can successfully match all of the tiles that put face down and how quickly you can do that. And how quickly you can do that, again, cooperatively is your score. The lower the time, the better the score. That has also been a big hit with a lot of people. And it's just such a unique It's
a cool
unique
experience. Everyone needs to play this game at some point just because it's, totally agree. Very rewarding. It's, there's 100 some tiles in the bag, but you're only going to play 35 of them. So part of it is when you get the orders, you have to know which ones are kind of fakes. Like they're ones you didn't actually lay down.
Yeah.
But you have to remember the story, and then it will mess with you some of the, like after the first 5, then there's going to be special orders. You have to do it in a certain way. You can only use certain syllables when you talk, or you have to change seating order. So it messes with your spatial memory of where you put things. And it's just delightful. It's more fun with more people. We've tried it with 3, and my oldest son, Cameron, tried it with 1 other person once, and it's harder with less people.
Oh, I bet that is hard.
Because you have to remember, you have less people to depend on. But I agree. Wilmot's Warehouse is very cool. And it's just
That's awesome.
fun to see people get it. And they start like, what are we doing? They're like, oh, and then they get totally absorbed into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And it's so neat. It's like it accesses this part of the human brain that like I wasn't even quite like I didn't even know it was there. But like, if you describe the game, remember where 35 random images, abstract images are, you think there's no way to do it. But the power of a cooperative story to help us all remember things is so cool.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
narrative
So anyway,
creatures.
that's my
That's
number
awesome.
four,
That's awesome.
Wilmot's Warehouse.
My number 4 is a great card game that's winning a bunch of awards, and it is, you want to guess? It has a number in it.
Is it Flip 7?
It is Flip 7. Yeah, yeah. Flip 7 is great. I'm terrible at it, seemingly, but it's just a lot of fun. It's a push your luck type game, and it's a deck of cards, and there's some special cards, and there's only so many of each number, and it's actually pretty simple to remember. There are 12 12s, 11 11s. They have points,
Yep.
but
Yep.
by the nature of the clever design, you can take as many cards as you want, like blackjack, but what you don't want is a pair. A pair means you bust. So you're more likely, if you have a 12, to draw another 12 unless you've cleverly counted cards. But there's some cards that mitigate that show up. And yeah, it's just a really funny game. And you do it, of course, watching other people bust can be hilarious. Or, yeah, it's a really, and there's a fair bit of strategy to it. Not that I've succeeded, but I can see how it could be.
Are you one that counts the cards, that can remember how many cards have been played?
No, but I've not
I'm not
tried.
either.
I mean, I get the thought, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I care enough to win that much. I mean, if we were betting money, maybe, but I'm not playing for money.
Yeah. That is a great game. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. It's small. It's probably one of the best card games. That
Yeah.
and Scout.
Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, Scout's amazing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isn't it up for? Yeah. Did you say like it's up for Game of the Year award, the Spiel des Jahres?
Yeah,
Something?
it's nominated for several and should be because it's just so simple, so clever.
Yeah.
3 minutes to explain it, and you're just cracking up. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 4.
That's a great one. Great one. Well, Kevin, the name of that game is Flip 7, and it was your number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to announce my number 3.
And that is
If you add 4 and 3, what do you get? So that's a horrible transition.
that's terrible.
My number 3 is also Flip 7. So
Yay!
yeah, yay. Yeah. Just for all the reasons you already said, it's a great game, and similarly here, it's just been a hit with everybody that we've tried it on at church group and at the house, and everybody loves it. It's fast.
I mean, you
simple.
can put it in
Yeah.
you can put it in your back pocket just about. So
Yeah,
it's a very portable, quick. Yeah, it's just a good time.
Yeah. So it's surprisingly, I think not quite as easy to find as it. There's, I mean, it seems to be at least for a while there. It felt like they were kind of running out because it's a really popular in demand game.
The buzz is out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, my number 3, like you, Flip 7.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is, if you play the French version, it is Warehouse du Wilmot. It is Wilmot's Warehouse.
Yay!
Yes.
Great. Wonderful.
So
Good,
everything we said about before, just so creative, so much fun. And another bit, the little pieces, you can decide which orientation, which helps you decide, like it could be a foot or it could be Mickey Mouse ear, like how you turn it could be a coffee cup, could be a stop sign, like you can kind of pivot them. And yeah, it's a really fun game, especially to watch people. They're like, oh, what was it? And then they remember, and you get that eureka moment of like, no, this was this, and that led to that. And you're like, oh, yeah. And everyone then agrees, like, oh, yeah, of course. And so they rediscover the game together. It's just really energizing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that that's on your list. Have you played with any of the, like you said, there are those little cards that bend the rules. And I didn't realize at first there are like normal cards that bend the rules, and then there are like extra hard cards that bend the rules.
No, I didn't realize.
Yeah. They have like an angry face on them. And we tried one by accident, and it just was so hard. We decided not to do.
Did
the
you get
extra
your angry
hard
face?
rules. Yeah. To avoid
It's
the
hard. Have
angry
you
face.
beat, like, we've gotten 4 minutes and a half. That's about the best we can do. But some of them are talking like 2 minutes to complete all the orders.
Yeah. We may have
just
gotten in the 2-minute range at some point. I forget exactly, but I think it was just maybe a group that had played a lot. We've played several times. I will say we did have one night it was not quite as much of a hit. and I think that was because we were all too tired. And so maybe it's
Yeah.
not a great game to play when you're feeling kind of brain dead, but it's
Yes,
really too
I
tired.
can see that.
Yeah. Cool. Yay, Wilmot's Warehouse.
Yay.
A hit all around.
Wilmot's Warehouse. Yes, number 2 for
Number
you
2,
and me, not 3.
Kevin. I'm now about to announce number 2.
Number 2.
And
Casey Kasem.
if you multiplied 2 by 2,
1,000.
yay!
Kelvin
15 Kelvin, which in Celsius
is
is 4.
square.
And 7 years ago,
Really?
So 4. This is such a horror. I'm horrible at transitions.
You're a dear friend and I love you, but yeah, you're not doing so hot today.
No, that's right. No, I
But there's
appreciate it.
tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's
It's okay.
fine. That's fine.
It'll be sweeter when you knock them out of the park.
Twilight Imperium 4. It's my number
Really?
2. Yeah,
That
yeah,
high?
yeah. That was a great game. You're one of your.
I wondered. I
one
didn't
of your
know if it
beloved
would. I
games.
didn't know you're interesting. I didn't see
yeah.
that coming.
It was new to me. It's been out for obviously a while, and it's. I know it's one of your most beloved games ever. Maybe your most beloved game ever.
It's up there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely top 5.
But I brought my copy that, again, a friend of the podcast, Sam, was kind enough to give me a year or two ago. And you were kind enough to teach it to us. By golly, that's a great game. And it looks so overwhelming and huge and massive, but you did such a great job of teaching it.
Thank you.
And just kind of really helping, I think, us to see that it's not, I mean, it's a lot more straightforward than it seems at first, and just a very epic sense to it. We didn't get to the end of it, but we played good 4-5
We were
hours or
close.
so.
Yeah, we were close.
You were close, but it didn't feel like 4 to 5 hours. The time
Did
went
it?
by very quickly. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
so what did you like about it? You like the sprawling aspect? You like the
Yeah, I do like one of the things I liked about it was the surprise of how straightforward it was. Yeah, that it's you just once you get the basic actions, you just kind of do the basic actions, and so it's not as complicated as it looks. I like the idea of upgrading your technologies. I always like that in a game where you feel like you're becoming more powerful over the course of a game. So there's definitely that feeling that I enjoyed. I like the interactivity as well. And there could be some negative interactivity, but that was okay. I like the race to Mechatol Rex in the middle. And yeah, the voting was such a nice, unnecessary twist, but it just adds a nice little sense of drama to it.
This is a space opera game that's it's just
So you vote on laws for our listeners who haven't heard of it, and the laws change the rules of the game.
And it's based on how many planets. Certain planets give you a certain number of votes. So some people have more votes than others, and then you can bribe them. And oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, no, that was really a special memory and a really good game too. So thank you for providing
we were
that
playing
for
at the house, and we had sprawled out there, and everyone was very nervous. I could see it, and I was just like, oh, y'all have it's in your head. Like, believe me, it's going to be fine. And I dialed up even some background music. There's some YouTube channels just dedicated to Twilight Imperium music, and just let it play. And it's very luxurious. You take your time kind of thing. Hopefully no one was too slow in their actions. Everybody was zipped along, and you see your little empire grow, and you may or may not win, but there's a lot of fun decision points, usually a lot of hilarity because something happens with someone attacks with a huge fleet and has bad rolls and gets crushed, and it's kind of funny. And everyone's laughing because you're like, oh, that shouldn't have happened, but it's so Twilight Imperium. Or the rules, you get outvoted, and you're like, oh, well, you guys, you closed my wormholes. That's awesome. And I especially love that it was your copy of the game. So it's like, I redeemed your game.
It was great.
What's the poor goat? The scapegoat. That was your scapegoat. He went out of the city.
Came back, bringing with it all the sins of the board game convention.
But he was all cleansed.
It was cleansed. He was
white as snow.
It was brand new. No, I loved it. I also love that I think I would have done much, much worse, but I felt like players that had the capacity to crush me felt sorry for me. And so that was great too. I will always take pity in a board game.
I have to remember that if we play again. Well, my number two is another good memory, and that is a terribly titled game, but a beautiful, fun game, and that's called Rebirth.
Yeah, Rebirth.
And it's terribly titled because when we play it, we just call it the castles game because you put out these little castles.
That's a
So
much better
it's like,
name.
why did they not have a clever name? And it's supposed to be that it's Scotland or Ireland, and they are being reborn after a disaster to their infrastructure, and you're rebuilding the castles and the churches, I guess, and energy and farm plants. I've played it actually a bunch. My family really likes it. It is fun. I wonder how much it rewards multiple plays because after a while it's a little thin. Like you can only do so many things. Like you just put out 3 different types of tokens, but it's still really pleasing and trying to come up with ways to score points. And there's an interesting decision of do you try to stop someone from making mega points because they combo a bunch of farms together, or do you keep trying to make your own points? And I think I usually choose badly on that one, but that is kind of fun. Like, do I stop you or do I make points? Like, what will win me the game? Stopping you or making myself?
Yeah. Have you tried both sides of the board, the Ireland and Scotland?
I have not tried Ireland. The kids did. I set it up for them and explained it. We were going to play, and then I had to go somewhere, and so they played.
Sure.
Have you?
I did the Ireland side. I did a solo 2-person learning game of it. Where I was just kind of playing myself, and
did you win?
I lost. Both versions of me lost.
He was on the forums all night trying to figure out.
That doesn't seem possible, but I did. I think I preferred the Scotland side, but they're both fun.
Right. That's what the boys said. Ireland, there's like 8 different public objectives, which is a lot more to remember, like which ones you're trying for, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of like the private objectives of Scotland.
Yeah, versus private. One of our family joke bits is, say, because if you chain the same types of farms, you get basically additive points. So Daniel's making a break for it with his farms, and we're always telling someone else, oh, you should do something about that. You should do something about it, because none of us actually wants to take the turn to stop Daniel. So try to get someone else to do something about Daniel.
Come on,
somebody do that. I would, but I can't. So
that's
I
right.
need you
That's
to
right. Come on.
So we think that's hilarious. That comes
that's
up
great.
a lot.
That's great.
You should really do something about Jenny.
I'm glad your family likes it so much. That's great.
And it's beautiful, great colors. Yeah, it's a great game. It's a Reiner Knizia Rebirth.
Yeah. Cool.
Nothing to do with, it sounds like a cool Hindu game or something.
Yeah. Rebirth. Your number 2.
My number 2, yes.
All right. Well, time for number 1.
Time for number 1. There can be only one.
So, Kevin, you just announced your number 2. If you take the number 2 and divide it by itself.
Hope springs eternal. Surely it does.
Rebirth is my number 1 as well. My Rebirth is number 1. Yeah. I really love that game. It's just just for all the reasons you said. It's so simple. You just do one thing on your turn. You just do one thing. You just place
one token.
You place a tile. That's it.
Token tile.
Yeah. And like you said, I think it's a beautiful game. It's
beautiful.
The art is beautiful. The sculpts are beautiful.
The colors, no.
Yeah, it's quick.
Do you feel like it gets a little thin after replay, though?
I can see it. I honestly haven't done that many replays of it yet, but I can see.
By the end game, there's only like 4 places you can go, so the last few turns are like.
Yeah. No, I could see that it might kind of get repetitive after a while, but anyway. But it's a great game. I really like it for all the reasons you said. Yeah, Rebirth. Plus, there's another nice memory that you and I played it together, and I think about.
You taught me the game, and it was just a 1v1, and you let me win, which was sweet. And that was really special. So I told people, this is the Daniel game. Daniel taught me this game. So
thanks.
Yeah.
I grateful for my Kevin memories from that too. Thank you. And I tried my best. I was trying to crush you, but it's just your superior skill. It's shown through.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's my number 1. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and by that, it would be the Twilight Imperium. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Nice.
And I didn't. Great. I mean, I hate to be the "I told you so" guy, but I actually really don't. No, it's just felt very luxurious. And that's how it should be. We actually played it at the house. that we had rented with folks and not at the convention center. So we got to relax a bit more. We weren't in this crowded space, and it just felt, very indulgent. And yeah, and I could see everyone having a good time and get into it. And our friend Sam, friend of the podcast, was seated beside me, and he would occasionally be like, wait, so if you do this, this will happen? And I would be like, yeah. And he's like, I get it. Like he would nod because he saw that this is a lovingly crafted game through 4 major revisions, 10 years of development or something crazy. And it's like all the rules are consistent, but there's always a way to break every rule somehow. And you just kind of start to see how it is this mechanism that fits together. So yeah. Yeah, that was a really special
that's
time.
well said. It's a well thought out game after years and years of refinement and evolution. And it's, you can, like you said, lovingly crafted. That does shine through.
And you think it's going to be like Risk, dudes on a map and battling it out, but it's really not. It's more of it's not actually how you win the game. You have to win these objectives, which are often technologies.
Yeah.
And every person is very different. So they're all asymmetrical. So everybody plays different. So next time you can play different people, and it's a whole different experience.
In that in the respect of, it's not like dudes on a map. It reminds me a little bit of Scythe, the Jamie Stegmaier game that, you look at it and you think it's a game about crushing each other, and you can do a little.
You are
battle,
supposed to attack a little bit, yeah.
But you can win in other ways too. Yeah. It's.
Oh, you won't. If you run around attacking inside a lot, you're not going to win. You'll lose a bunch of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You only want to attack judiciously. And same thing with Twilight Imperium. If you're busy getting in battles, then Daniel's sitting over there winning because he's not losing. Yeah, he's not losing troops to stupid battles. So yeah.
When else is involved in battles, I'm just slowly edging my piece up the score track.
Exactly.
That's when they're not looking. Well, he said Sam was in that game. I sort of give credit to Jordan and Kristen, also friends of the podcast, who took part in that adventure as well. It was great. Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. We were wrong. It wasn't 1 overlap or 2 overlap or 3 overlap. We had 4 overlap.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we had 4 overlap.
So the ones we didn't, I picked Storm Raiders, and you did not play, so you couldn't have picked it, and you picked
Captain Flip.
But I very much could have put Captain Flip on here. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you, but I only played it the once, so maybe more. I mean, I definitely like it. I would play it at any time, but it's not one that I'm just choosing to play. But it is cool.
And we had 1 overlap in our 3 honorary mentions.
Correct.
So
that is 5 overlaps.
So that gives us 11 unique games. No, 11 unique games, I think. If our listeners are trying to find some games that, hopefully one of those unique games, 11 unique, maybe spoke to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, if you give it a try, let us know. We'd be interested to hear.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you want me to, if I own it and you want me to autograph it, I'm glad to do that at a 4 times markup of the sale price of the item, plus shipping.
Of TI4.
Special deal for our listeners.
That's a great deal.
So a $50 game, if you give me $200 plus shipping, $220, I will sign the game and send it to you.
That's very generous of you, Kevin.
It's very meaningful.
You know what you
get. Nothing to do with any of the games.
If you anagram the name Kevin Taylor, you get I always give. You're just a very giving spirit. You're just a very giving spirit. Kevin Taylor anagram.
Not a W in Kevin.
I always give. Well, if you turn the K upside down, like on its back, it forms the W.
Like K doesn't take a nap now and then. That's my point.
That's very, very generous of you.
Yes.
Well, that was great.
Good time.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for sharing such good games. And listeners, thanks for tuning in. We hope maybe you heard some games that interested you that might be of something in your universe that you would like. And maybe you got an interest in attending a board game convention sometime too.
That's right. If you have been to a favorite one, you got a favorite one, email us, as well as email us some of your favorite games of this year. Let us know what you've played in the past few months, and we will share them online.
Yep,
so
that would be
just
great.
Drop us an email. What is that email, Daniel?
Our email is playsavestheworld@gmail.com, playsavestheworld@gmail.com, or info@playsavestheworld.com.
There you go.
Yep, we'd love to hear from you. We really do love
on
hearing
Instagram.
from
Look
our
for
listeners.
us. Yes.
Well, Kevin, great to see you. Thanks for
Same
hanging
here.
out and sharing some great games.
Yeah. Always a good time, Daniel. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Talk to you
Thanks.
soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.